This rise in interest rates, according to our guest, has been tough on young people. They tend to have more debt, but it's been pretty good for many older people. Let's bring in Trevor Tombe, Professor of Economics at the University of Calgary and a research fellow at the School of Public Policy. Trevor, great to see you. We saw this story at thehub.ca, a website you write for. Give us your thesis here that older people have actually done pretty well out of these rises in interest rates, and younger people have been hurt.
Well, that's right. If you look at the wealth, the debt, the financial assets that different households own, there's a very clear pattern here. With younger households, typically on average those in their 30s and 40s, for example, having debts on the order of about $300,000 per household, whereas those over 65, the average debt levels are only about $50,000. So when interest rates rise, naturally there's going to be a difference in how that affects the finances of Canadians in different circumstances. And StatsCan does track this quarterly, and we've just got the latest data out just about 2 weeks ago, and it shows a really stark difference between those who are older and those who are younger. So under 35, for example, every month now, interest payments are up about $300 per month for households under the age of 35 compared to where they were last year. Whereas it really hasn't risen for older households. But meanwhile, higher interest rates also mean higher income for those with savings, and that's up nearly $400 per month for those over the age of 65. So there's clear winners and losers here when rates change. It's a pretty large redistribution, if you will, from younger to older households that's taking place.
Can we broaden it out here? Because you and some other economists say that public policy, for decades has been aimed at getting rid of senior poverty, and big progress has been made, I understand. But we have seen this shift in wealth to the old from the young.
Yeah, we absolutely have. So it's been a clear policy priority for many governments of all parties. So it's not one party or another. Increases to old age security, increases to the guaranteed income supplement, for example, and during the pandemic, boosting those programs even more. Or here in Alberta, we've seen under our government part of the affordability programs that were rolled out, $100 per month cash transfers per senior to households in order to compensate for rising prices. We've also seen a reversal of the increase to the age of eligibility to OAS from 67 that the former Prime Minister Harper implemented down to 65 under current Prime Minister Trudeau. So there's been a lot of policies that really tilt the scales in favor of older individuals. And right now what we're seeing with higher interest rates is that older individuals, they're not only benefiting from higher interest income, they're benefiting more than higher inflation is actually straining them. So the only group of households in Canada who are saving more now per month are those over the age of 65. Everyone else is saving less because prices are rising more than incomes.
You note in your piece that old people tend to vote and young people often don't.
Yeah, that's certainly true. So the political calculation here is, I think, fairly clear, and I think that's exactly why we saw in the 2015 election, for example, the commitment to lower the age of eligibility for OAS from 67 to 65. The beneficiaries clearly know who they are, tend to vote more than others. And so I view that policy choice as one for short-term political advantage, and fair enough, politicians will do that. But we do need to keep in mind that older Canadians in a higher interest rate environment do a lot better than younger Canadians do. And so as interest rates strain government finances, some potentially difficult fiscal decisions might be ahead. And we need to take care to ensure that young people are not the ones that are unfairly saddled with the heaviest burdens while older Canadians are spared.
Would it be fair, I know you don't editorialize, but would it be fair to argue that Stephen Harper made a fairly courageous political decision with that 65 to 67 increase?
And so I think so. I think a sensible decision, given that demographics are changing, our population is aging. This is going to create significant strain on government budgets because of healthcare, because of rising OAS costs. People are living longer. And so I think it's natural to to increase that age of eligibility from 65 to 67, a modest change. But that alone is equivalent, when fully phased in, equivalent to about a full percentage point of GST. That's kind of the equivalent budgetary impact. And so an important move, but yeah, a potentially unpopular one. We did see it become an election issue. So I think it was a courageous move, but the right move from a public policy perspective.
I suppose Stephen Harper did bring down the GST by 2 percentage points. And you are at pains to note, like, people do deserve older people. They put in a life of hard work. I don't know if you want to even go here, but is it harder for young people these days? I mean, you're not going to be able to buy a house in many Canadian cities on one salary.
Yeah, so I think that's right. I don't mean to suggest that older Canadians are not entitled to the savings that they worked hard to accumulate and now are benefiting from higher interest rates. That's entirely fair enough. So I'm certainly not suggesting we enact policies to claw that back in any way. We just need to keep in mind who's benefiting and who's straining in a higher interest rate environment and ensure that the policies we enact do not exacerbate this windfall to older Canadians, if you will. And I do point again to the recent $100 per month checks to older Albertans that we implemented here in the province, despite the fact that that's the only group where disposable incomes are rising. So we need to make sensible fiscal choices here, recognizing which are the groups of Canadians that are having the most difficult time right now, not just from high inflation that strains everybody, but high interest rates.
And is that $100, is that for everybody, every wealthy old person as well?
So the income threshold was $180,000 per year. So the overwhelming majority of older Albertans did receive that $100 per month transfer during the 6 months where it was active for the first half of this year. But if you earned more than $180,000, then you weren't entitled.